Morning. Starting the day off again at the seed conveyor. Only this time we're going to unplug it and not plug it. So if you missed yesterday's video, I plugged that seed tender yesterday morning and we left it here because we had stuff to do. While we're waiting on this dew to burn off, we're going to run some corn later this afternoon, but we are going to unplug this, and hopefully Dad's going to run beans and I'm going to plant some wheat. That's the plan. You know how things go. Also, while it's fresh in my mind, I was just listening to it in the truck, there's an episode of Off the Husk that just aired. If you're not familiar with that podcast, that is run by the Millennial Farmer, Randy the Master Pipe Layer, and Mrs. Millennial Farmer. I was on that podcast in September. That just dropped today, so check that episode out. Seems to be a pattern.
New air seeder.
Yeah. The air seeder's going to feed the air seeder.
You know, I probably wouldn't try that just yet.
But they ain't even got enough power to spin the belts. Victory! Alright, we got our wheat in the bucket of the backhoe. I'm going to pull the truck up. BJ's going to dump the wheat in. BJ's about to get a 10-second crash course on how to run a backhoe. Nothing to fear here. All he can do is total my truck or the seed tender or the backhoe. Probably not the backhoe, probably the truck. But
Step one.
Yep, got step one down. Park brakes over there. It is off because I'm super safe. There's your gear shift. You won't need it. Forward and reverse is right here. That's all you'll need to know.
Just up and down, aside and tilt.
Yeah. Sometimes, like when you put it in the back barn over there, you gotta lower that down. It should go in just fine now. How'd we do? Was that 10 seconds? Might have went over. That might have been 15. This ain't gonna work.
Whoa!
So we just chose what variety of wheat we're planting first based on which one was the closest to the conveyor. Science. Now time to start moving trucks. Dumping trucks, moving tractors, moving combines. Dad's pulling my combine out. I think he's hooking up my bean head. Whatever. He's fueling his up. Like I said, we are going to make a move. We tried to do a 40-acre field last week. It was like the second day we started harvesting. But that field at that time was like 28% moisture. We're worried about the standability of that field, so we're going to go back to it, see what happens. Hopefully we can harvest that today. We've got some winds in the forecast, so we want to get that field out of there. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll probably be helping them truck for a little bit, and then I'm hopping in that thing. You can't tell now, but we had a really heavy fog bank. Still a lot of dew on the ground. So if we are able to do beans later, it will be later. I'm hoping I'm going to run that. Maybe Dad will just use my combine to run beans. Don't know yet. Well, Dad ran over a pile of rotten beans right in front of the header cart with the combine. So now we could just save ourselves trouble and ran over a skunk, but that's about what it smells like.
Working word stink.
Yeah, it's one of the worst odors in the world. I really wish you guys could smell it through the camera. Now we are hooking this combine up because the tech from Ohio Ag, they're going to come down and fix my brother's seat. If you missed it in the last video, the seat in the grain cart tractor is stuck up, but it won't deflate. It's an air ride seat. It won't deflate. If you ever rode an air ride seat that won't deflate, your legs go numb after a while, and it's really uncomfortable. So that tractor's under warranty still, so they're going to come down and fix that. While they're here on the warranty call, we're hoping we can get them to fix the McDonald switch in this combine. Now the McDonald switch is this auxiliary switch here. That's what tilts the McDonald head forward and back. If that works, I'll be able to cut just a little bit closer and clip the bottom of the bean just a little bit closer to the ground. So if beans are potted really low to the ground, that's extremely important. So far we haven't ran into that. There's just not very many pods on any of the beans, so it hasn't been a big deal, but we'll need to be able to tilt that head eventually. As per Dad's orders, we're just going to drive the beep thing around, try to get the stink off the tires. So we are just going to drive in a circle. You guys want to bet it still stinks? Oh, almost forgot the coffee. That would have been disastrous. Still smells like a dog kennel down here. That's kind of what it smells like. It smells like really, really stinky dog turd. Right now we are waiting on a couple things. The service tech's coming down to fix BJ's seat. Larry's got 2 more trucks to dump, and then we're gonna move. So in the meantime, we've got 3 1038 tractors, and 2 of them are out. So I'm gonna get the other one out and take a picture. All for the gram. Huh. Oh, thank God that thing's not hooked up. Now the question is, in that picture, how much this stuff's actually going to get used. Now we probably will hook up Dad's tractor to the J&M grain cart we have, just because we may eventually need that thing and it'll give us a little bit more flexibility. The other 1038, we might hook it up to our Great Plains drill just in case, I don't know. Hoping we can plant most of our wheat with that air drill, but just to be ready. Now this 1038, this is the one we plant soybeans with. People always ask. Now this is the one we used on the cart last year. Both of our 1038s are leased, and this one is a 300-hour lease, which in hindsight was not enough. So that's why we are not using it on the cart. We are using the strip till 1038, which is over there. It is a 450-hour lease. Turns out that's much better for us. Now, yeah, we could probably run both combines if we had 2 grain carts in corn, but we still don't have the people required to do that or the drying capacity to do that. Now, last year we ran 2 combines in corn because corn was dry. We didn't have to dry it at all. We stood right in the bin. It's unseasonably wet for this time of year as far as the corn moisture goes. Here he goes again, playing his favorite game, find the hydraulic hose. Now, we haven't really hooked this cart up. I think we did use it last year a little bit, but not much. BJ's up there finding out how the other half lives. He got a little spoiled getting to use a 1038 his whole farming career so far. Now the old 4020 wasn't in the picture, but we made a whole video on that tractor, so check it out. All right, Ohio Ag just got here. That other grain cart's hooked up, so while we're waiting, I got some fan mail. How's everybody else's truck holding up for harvest? So far, I've got 2 coffee cups in here, an empty cup, some mail, a box full of parts, an extra pair of boots, a box full of tools, and 2 jackets. And of course, a camera bag full of cameras. How's everybody else holding? I'd say eventually we're gonna have at least 4 coats in here. Probably 3 or 4 more empty coffee cups. All right, Ohio Ag just got here. That other grain cart's hooked up, so while we're waiting, I got some fan mail. How's everybody else's truck holding up for harvest? So far, I've got 2 coffee cups in here, an empty cup, some mail, a box full of parts, an extra pair of boots, a box full of tools, and 2 jackets. And of course, a camera bag full of cameras. How's everybody else holding? I'd say eventually we're gonna have at least 4 coats in here. Probably 3 or 4 more empty coffee cups. Whew, starting to warm up. 37 this morning, 70 for the high. Not bad. So like I mentioned, BJ's been kind of spoiled in that we had 1038s when he started farming with us. BJ, what'd you think of going back to the past?
Okay, starting up here, I gotta get turn separator on. As you can see, this concave, every time you start, every 24 hours, it opens up and closes up. That keeps the dirt out of it. It keeps it limber, so it'll keep working. That's the concave under the cylinder. So as soon as it gets set, then we take off. It's like closed up to 9. I'm running about 27.
There's a combine somewhere over there. But I got his lunch, so I bet he comes back. Now, apparently this corn is dried down to 20. Last time we were here, it was like a week and a half ago. This corn was like 27%. So right now it's 75 degrees, a little bit of air movement. That's good weather for drying corn down. This is the kind of weather the gas man hates and the farmer likes. I had to take a dump trailer up to a Sea Consultants test plot. They're doing a soybean plot up there. So we just took them our little dump trailer. But while I was doing that, we got out of our trucking rotation, so I'm getting the red Kenworth. And Larry's driving the black truck. Yeah, we're loading on the road. That's pretty extreme. All right, I just got off the phone with Derek. Just had to get a little quick refresher on how this thing works, but we just dropped it in the ground, threw some wheat down, and now we're going to check our depth and make sure we're good there, not blowing seed out, and then we'll be good to go.
Hey, we're dumped the corn, went to Bryant's combine and doing beans. First trip around the field here, got me a rider. Mason's with me. See, hi Mason. He's went to drive the combine, but I told him he couldn't drive a combine because he's got that binky in his mouth. Everybody's got one of them things in their mouth, can't drive a combine. You know that? Huh? No. So anyway, he don't have no place in here to, he don't have that rail across there like I do. There ain't no place to set a camera, so I ain't gonna stay there and hold it all night, so I guess bye-bye.
Hey, little dude's going for a ride. Hey, you wanna drive?
No.
Oh. Oh, no. And then he grabs the steering wheel. But all we gotta do is just not touch the steering wheel. We got the auto steer on. Dax, should we run over these weeds?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
Yes.
There they are. All critters, look out, we're coming through. And we did it. No blockage. Hey Daxie,
Got it.
you see that John Deere out there?
Yep.
It's weird looking, isn't it?
Yep.
It's the wrong color.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Real combines are yellow.
Yeah.
Unless they're a new Clausen and they're green. Or black. Dinner is served. Larry's working the hard job, transferring grain. Basically all you gotta do is sit there and watch the lights in the drive-thru. When they go out, you're done transferring grain. Hi, Emmy. All right, time to get back to work. I noticed this road just kind of looks a little goofy, so I got out and checked it. Not seeing anything different. We're same depth. This bearing's still spinning free. Originally I thought maybe that bearing might be out or something, but I don't know. I think we're good. Kind of walk and check everything else, but we appear to be good. All right, it's very close to dark. I don't need seed, but if I fill this thing up, I will be able to empty my tender basically. So I do want to go ahead and do that now. And then I'll have an empty tender in the morning that I can fill up. So we're going to stop, fill up with seed. It is a beautiful evening out here tonight. No fog yet, so that's good. They keep on keeping on the soybeans because I'm going to need to plant that field that they're in pretty soon. Hopefully tomorrow. But I need that tender over there. Just a bit outside. Anybody name that movie? Well, you guys never seen Major League? There goes a coyote. Right there by our grain bins. That's a big coyote. Hey, he ain't that big, I guess. Man, a little closer than I thought he'd be.
Hey, we're still running here this evening. It's about 8 o'clock. Running pretty good, a little bit of air moving, so I don't think we'll get too tough too early.
All right, we are still going back and forth in this thing. We have less than 10 acres left of this field, and then we'll be done with it. That's probably what we're going to do for tonight. I think I'm going to be up against the combines in the morning, so I'll probably be combining at some point. Now, so far, really liking this sunflower drill, but I've still only planted 60 acres with it. But it is nice to be able to run 7 miles an hour. It's nice to have 170 bushel capacity on the hopper. I'm used to, our drill only having 80, so that's a nice jump. So this isn't our Challenger. This is a demo Challenger from Ohio Ag Equipment, but it's basically the exact same as ours. In fact, I don't think anything's different other than ours doesn't have that. I guess ours could have that, depending on what kind of screws that is.
Another thing I like about my combine, at least tonight it would be nice, there's some snacks in there and something to drink. There's a daggone thing in this thing to eat or drink.
Alright, the Intelligent Ag System is telling us that we have some blockages. I'm just going to guess that the main hopper, the 100 bushel hopper, is now empty. So we still have this hopper. Okay, we got product 2 on. So to do that, how did I do that? Oh, I went to this button and I clicked product 2 power. So Now we are back to, so now we're back to green flag racing. So that's pretty cool. Now I have 70 units left. I really like that dual bin. That is pretty handy. So now in the morning, product 1, that bin I will fill with the other variety that I'm gonna bring. We'll plan out product 2. Yeah, that's gonna be nice. Normally I would have just blended the 2 varieties in there and we wouldn't really had a great comparison, but not now. We are done with that field. First field down with this thing. It is 10:30, so I'm going to park this thing down here. Looks like Dad and BJ are still getting after it. So that's good. If nothing else, that means my combine hasn't broke down, so that's a plus. Dad has been running my machine in soybeans. His is still hooked to his corn head. And we're done. I just seen Dad and BJ rolling in. They've got the carts and the trucks loaded. Larry went home a while back, so I guess they're done for the night. All in all, not a bad day. 40 some acres of corn and probably 60, 70 acres of beans. Not bad. Not bad for us anyways. Almost forgot to pick up the leftovers. Oh man, BJ didn't eat their pie. What pie? Crap, I forgot to film an outro. So thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video. Check the links in the descriptions, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully we can get some more wheat in the ground with that air seeder, and you know, smooth sailing, nothing breaks.